welcome back. Dear viewers, if you're new here, make yourself at home and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more heartfelt stories, exclusive celebrity insights, and unforgettable moments from the Asian entertainment world. Today, we're diving into a story that's been quietly building for years, one filled with subtle glances, unspoken bonds, and now, finally, undeniable truth. The moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. Dylan Wang has broken his silence. It all started with a spark, one that fans felt the moment Dylan Wang and Shen Yue first shared the screen. Their chemistry was undeniable, their bond effortless, and their presence together felt like something more than scripted lines or rehearsed scenes. For years, whispers of a deeper connection swirled among fans, but both stars remained silent until now. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Dylan Wang finally lifts the veil, sharing why Shen Yue has always held a unique place in his heart, and why, even with countless stars around him, it's her he's chosen. This is more than just a revelation. It's the beginning of a love story fans never stopped believing in. When it comes to ships that fans just can't let go of, Dylan Wang and Shen Yue are at the top of the list. Ever since their electrifying on-screen chemistry in Meteor Garden, rumors, hopes, and fan theories have run wild. Were they just acting? Was their connection simply the product of brilliant direction? Or something deeper, more personal, and real? For years, Dylan Wang kept quiet. He smiled through interviews, playfully dodged questions, and moved on to new projects while fans replayed every lingering look, every behind-the-scenes whisper, every spontaneous laugh they shared. But not anymore. For the first time, Dylan has chosen to open up in a candid, emotionally honest interview that left both fans and the media stunned. Sitting down with a close friend on a private podcast, he didn't speak as the idol heartthrob or the rising actor with millions of fans. He spoke as Dylan, the man behind the fame, the soul behind the smile. "I know everyone's been wondering," he said with a soft laugh, brushing his hair back and glancing briefly off camera. "Why her? Why Shen Yue? Out of all the amazing women I've worked with, why is it always her name that comes up when people talk about me?" What followed was a raw, intimate revelation. "She was the first person I worked with who truly saw me," Dylan began, his voice thoughtful. "Not as the guy who had just landed a breakout role. Not as the next big thing. She treated me like a human being. She made me laugh on days when I was exhausted and unsure of myself. She grounded me when everything else felt like a whirlwind." That connection, as he describes it, wasn't something he chased, it found him. People say we had chemistry. What they don't know is, we didn't try to have chemistry. It just existed. Throughout the conversation, Dylan spoke with a tone of quiet admiration and something far deeper. He recounted the early days of filming Meteor Garden, when both he and Shen Yue were fresh to the spotlight. "We leaned on each other a lot. It was a crazy time. Fame hit fast, and it was overwhelming. But you always found a way to keep things real. She never let it get to her head. I respected that." He also shared a memory that, until now, had been kept away from the cameras, a moment during a late-night rehearsal, just the two of them, rehearsing lines by the river. "She was laughing at how terrible I was at crying on cue," he chuckled. "And then out of nowhere, she looked at me and said, 'You're going to be huge, Dylan. Just don't lose your heart along the way.'" That moment stayed with him, not because it was romantic, but because it was real. Over the years, as fans continued to ship the pair, their individual careers took different directions. Shen Yue embraced a series of dramas that showed her growth and versatility. Dylan stepped into darker, more intense roles, pushing himself into new creative territory. But something always brought them back together, be it variety shows, brand endorsements, or subtle social media nods that set the fandom ablaze. And now, Dylan finally admits what many had long suspected. "Choosing Shen Yue," he said slowly, "wasn't about fame or fan service or image. It was about choosing someone who makes me feel at peace. Someone who reminds me who I am when everything else becomes noise." This quiet confession set off a storm online. Within minutes, the clip from the podcast went viral. Dylan chose Shen Yue trended in multiple countries. Fans couldn't believe that the idol known for his guarded nature had finally opened up, and in such a heartfelt way. But perhaps what touched everyone the most was how respectful and gentle he remained throughout. There were no grand declarations of love, no flashy statements, just truth. When asked about whether the two are officially a couple now, Dylan offered a smile. "We've built something over the years that's more than what people see. And I think we're both figuring out what that means. But yes, she's someone I've chosen, again and again." In a world where celebrity relationships often feel staged or rushed, Dylan's quiet sincerity was a breath of fresh air. It reminded fans that real connections take time, trust, and mutual understanding. And it validated what so many had seen in the gentle, almost magnetic bond between him and Shen Yue. Their story isn't just about romance. It's about companionship, growth, respect. Two young stars navigating fame and life, side by side. Since the podcast aired, Shen Yue herself has yet to comment publicly. But fans noticed a soft gesture, an Instagram story showing a familiar cup of tea Dylan once said was his favorite, with a single heart emoji. No tag, no caption, just a silent nod that, maybe, she's ready to speak too, in her own way. And so, the story continues. Not as a typical love story, but as something deeper. A real-life bond that blossomed under pressure, nurtured by trust and shared experience. And now, finally acknowledged. So when Dylan Wang asks, why her? The answer is simple. Because she was never just another co-star. She was his anchor, his constant, his quiet muse in the background of all the noise. As fans, we've watched their journey unfold like chapters in a cherished book. And now, as a new chapter begins, honest, open, and beautifully human, we can't help but feel grateful to be witnessing it. Thank you for joining us today. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more exclusive updates and emotional stories. Until next time, stay inspired, stay kind, and never stop believing in the magic of real connection.